My friends, tonight I want to share with you one of the most powerful techniques I've ever used in my own life to manifest the seemingly impossible. A method so simple, yet so wonderfully effective, that it can transform your entire world. It is what I call the I remember when technique. Now, listen closely. This is not mere theory, but practical instruction. The very way you shift your state of consciousness to match the reality you desire. You see, the law of assumption teaches us that your assumption, if persisted in, hardens into fact. That your outer world is nothing more than a mirror reflecting your inner state. And so, if you wish to change your outer world, you must first assume the state of the wish fulfilled. You must feel now as though it were already true. But how do we do this? How do we bridge the gap between the present moment and the state we desire? This is where the technique of I remember when becomes the golden key. Let us say you are presently without a job, or your bank account appears empty. You desire financial freedom. Rather than looking at what is and reinforcing the lack, you assume the end by saying inwardly, I remember when I was struggling financially. I remember when I used to worry about paying my bills. Wasn't that a different life? You are placing the present undesirable condition into the past. Not by denial, but by relocation. You are moving it in time. And by doing so, you bring into your present awareness the feeling of relief, of gratitude, of freedom, as though your desire were already fulfilled. Let me share a little story. A woman once came to me. She said, Neville, I've tried everything. I want to be happily married. I visualize, I affirm, but nothing seems to happen. I told her, start tonight. Close your eyes and say to yourself, I remember when I used to come home to an empty house. I remember when I used to feel so alone. And now, every evening, I come home to love and companionship. She practiced this faithfully. Within weeks, she met the man who became her husband, not by chance, but by law. The law of assumption. So I ask you now, what would you like to manifest? A healed body, a restored relationship, a dream career? Then declare, I remember when I was unwell. I remember when I felt pain. But that is all behind me now. I walk in health and wholeness. Feel it as if it were already true. Let that feeling take root in your imagination. Do not wait for the outer world to give you permission to feel it. You are the operant power. My dear friends, your imagination is God in action. When you say, I remember when, you are assuming that you have already passed through the old state. And what you assume to be true becomes your reality. So tonight, go to bed, not with the problems of the day, but with the joy of having already received. Let your pillow be your altar. Rest in the knowing that all things are working in divine order. Say quietly to yourself, over and over, I remember when things were hard. I remember when I doubted. But that old life has passed away. Now I live in ease, in joy, and in fulfillment. Feel it, believe it, and do not be surprised when your world rearranges itself to mirror the assumption you've planted within. This is the secret. This is the way. The moment you say, I remember when, you step into the reality where your wish is already fulfilled. Good night.